Welcome back. Let's jump right in. Okay, question. First of all, this is for you all who feel like you're not making any progress. You feel like you're not moving on. You feel stuck. How many of you feel like you have never dealt with anything difficult in your life? Okay. How many of you feel like you've never had any form of trauma in your life? My guess is zero, right? We are all humans and we all at some point have some form of difficulty, struggle. More than likely, we have all had some form of trauma. The faster that we can acknowledge this, the easier we can move on, the easier that our experience is going to be. Okay, so when you're feeling like you're stuck and not able to move on, I'm going to share a piece of advice that's really helped me and I think will really help you. And I don't typically read my notes like just in a reading form, but I'm going to do it this time because I don't want to miss anything important because I think that this really, really matters. Okay. Realize you are not alone. We all deal with hardships sometimes and we isolate and we sabotage the healing process because we think that nobody else understands us. We all think that. That in and of itself should help you understand that you're not alone. You're never alone. All of our human experiences are shared experiences and emotions. We all have them. Yet oftentimes we think that we're the only ones, and then we isolate ourselves and sabotage any kind of connection that we could have with someone because we think that they're not going to understand. We falsely believe that we have to be happy and perfect all the time in order to be valued or a good human or doing things the right way, right? And we think that we have to be happy and perfect without any kind of struggle, or else we're doing something wrong or we don't measure up. Do you know that that is such a common, self-limiting belief and it's keeping us from feeling connected in the world with our healing process because it keeps us isolated and shut off from other people? So as I'm pointing out this, it's meant to bring more connection. It's meant to show you that you're not the only one that has these feelings or that's dealing with something hard or that's going through trauma. I've had a lot of trauma. I know you have had a lot of trauma. And you want to heal. You want to feel better. You want to get those emotions out, but we think that we are not being strong when we show emotion, or if we let ourselves even acknowledge that we have hurt, anger, sadness, fear, resentment, bitterness, whatever those feelings that we're feeling that we tend to hide and isolate because we feel ashamed of them. This isn't helping our healing process. And it's usually contributing to us feeling more isolated and less connection, which is also not how we're meant to live our lives as humans. So I'm pointing these out to help bring you back to feeling some sense of connection with other people because these are such common faulty beliefs that we all think from time to time. And we all have our own form of trauma. Yes, they might be different than your best friend or somebody else in your family, and you think that they're not going to understand. But all of the human emotions and experiences, they're shared when you really narrow them down to the basic levels of feeling hurt, alone, scared, angry, right? The experience that caused that emotion might be very different. But the underlying emotion that we eventually feel, if we can break it all down, is the same. We've all felt those. And the important thing, of course, like I always say, is what did you learn from it, right? That's one way that's really going to help healing, is really focusing on what you learned from it. Okay, but that's not the tip that I'm sharing with you today. So I also wanted to point out that I believe that this one thing that I'm going to share can really help you heal just that much faster, right? And I also want to take a second to acknowledge you didn't deserve any of the trauma or the struggle. None of us have. Okay, so I'm definitely going to validate that. If you haven't realized yourself that you don't deserve it, that you didn't deserve it, you don't. None of us deserve those terrible things that we've experienced or witnessed or been through. Just want to make sure I get that out there, because I think we all deserve to hear that. Sometimes you didn't deserve it. Okay, whatever it is, it doesn't matter what it was. You didn't, the pain, the hurt, you didn't deserve that. Okay, so I'm going to say this. Let go. This is the big tip. Let go of the resistance of just either processing the feeling, or let go of the resistance that you feel because you know you didn't deserve it, and that you now feel defective, right? Sometimes we feel that when we know we don't deserve something, but it happened to us and we feel ashamed of it, then we feel defective. Okay, let go of all this resistance, or the resistance to not even allow yourself to process some of the emotions that you're feeling, right? Let go of it. Allow yourself to feel what you need to feel when you need to feel it, and stop resisting it, okay? That's the big tip. Sounds simple. It kind of is simple, but it's not easy. It's not easy for us and our human brains, and how our society has trained us to think we have to be strong and happy and perfect to have value, and that you're doing something wrong, or there's something wrong with you if you're feeling some of what we call these negative emotions. They're not necessarily negative. If we want to make them negative, then they can be, but they're just human experiences and emotions that we all share at some point in our life. We're all on different journeys at different times, yes, and we all maybe, like I said, the experience might be different, but we have the same shared emotions that we're all capable of feeling, and that we all feel at some point and we all experience at some point. So let go of that resistance to try to shut that part of you off, and just allow and accept that it's normal, and that it's okay, and that you need to feel it in order to let it go. You need to stop resisting, right? The more that we, and I learned this myself, and I still work on this myself. We have to practice letting go of the resistance to just let ourselves have that emotion without feeling the guilt and shame that something is wrong with us because we're having that emotion in the first place. No. Yes, we didn't deserve what was done to us, but what did we learn from it? Let go of the resistance that there's something wrong with us because it either did happen, or there's something wrong with us because of the way we're feeling afterwards, or whatever that is. Breathe and just allow yourself to feel it. Accept that it's part of the human experience, and that there's nothing wrong with you for feeling that way. And I promise you, things start to become a lot easier after that. You're not defective, okay? There's nothing wrong with us. We just have emotions because we're human, and they're meant to be felt. They're meant to tell us something. They're meant to teach us something. Okay. So yes, allow yourself to feel, accept that where you are is just part of the human experience, okay? Humans experience life, and because we all do in some form or another have trauma or have these emotions, we're all connected in that way, in the sense of we're not alone. We can relate to one another if we allow ourselves to accept that it's okay and normal, and then allow ourselves to connect with people. That's so healing in and of itself. But we have to let go of the resistance, that we have to shut these feelings off, and we don't even realize that we're doing it because it's so ingrained. And then we're hindering and slowing down the healing process for ourselves. And then the suffering extends. And it takes us longer to move on, right? We continue to feel stuck in the same emotions that are draining us. And I know that you know what I mean, because we all experience this at some point. So the faster you stop resisting the healing process, the less suffering. And the faster you begin to feel better and move on with your life, the life you're meant to live. Just wanted to make sure I got all of those important points out. So yes, the faster you can let go of the resistance, accept and allow yourself to be human, it just becomes easier. And the less suffering that you're going to have. I promise if you just practice that, you're going to feel a weight lifted off your shoulder, and you're going to be able to move through life a little bit easier. You're going to be able to move on a little bit faster, because the more we resist something, the more it keeps pushing back at us. And so I know that you want to focus more on the life that you want to create, and you want to have more peace, and you want to live the life that you're meant to live. Don't allow yourself to hold yourself back and take longer to heal than you need because you think that there's something wrong with feeling sad, feeling hurt, feeling bitter, angry, whatever it is. It's normal. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not doing anything wrong. And just let yourself feel it. Let go. Let go of that resistance. Welcome the emotions in, and they stop pushing back. Try it this week. I just challenge you to try it. What do you have to lose? Just practice. You can comment down below if it helps you, or share this with somebody that you think it will help, of course. And I hope you have a good rest of your week. And I hope you start to feel just a little bit more peace. Okay, let go. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.